The Africa Status Flash basically is another one-stop shop for selected socio-economic indicators on all aspects you can think of on the continent. It does not have any texts. It just provides the figures on various indicators, and I have a copy of it here. Now, the Status Flash, basically what it does is that it has two components. First of all, we have one component which focuses on one country. What we have done is that we have looked at the main drivers of GDP on the continent. In other words, the fastest growing economies on the continent. So in each of the flashes that we produce, we focus on one country first in a couple of pages, and then the rest of the flash covers the entire continent, both in terms of the indicators on the continent and also for comparative purposes. You have the indicators across the sub-region, so you'll be able to compare from one sub-region to the other. For instance, for November, we have a focus on Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is one of the fastest growing economies on the continent, and everyone acknowledges that. And therefore, we thought that it's important that the researchers are aware of the kind of indicators and areas where the economy is actually booming compared to the others. So when you look at there, you actually see the sectors. For instance, in Cote d'Ivoire, actually the service sector is one of the biggest contributors to the GDP of Cote d'Ivoire. In addition to that, we have looked at the macroeconomic indicators for the continent. And in there, in addition to the macroeconomics for indicators, we have sub-regional macroeconomic indicators. We have also looked at the sectorial composition, for instance, of GDP, meaning that you look at the sectors on the continent, which of the sectors actually are drivers of the economy on the continent. In addition to that, we have tried to give as much information on trade, basically on inflows into the continent, how much inflows are coming into the continent, and how much is going. We have also provided information on exports. How much does the continent export, and which are the areas where we seem to be contributing much more to the global economy. We also indicate countries which are where most of the African countries are actually importing from, to show the intra-trade in there. We also have information of intra-trade between sub-regions on the continent. For instance, the trade between countries in SADC and the countries in COMESA, countries in COMESA with countries in ECOWAS, countries in SADC with countries in Maghreb region in the north, and so forth, to actually show whether indeed Africa is within time also beginning to meet the regional integration agenda, because ultimately that's the idea that we must be able to show that there is a macro convergence towards this regional integration agenda. So really, this is another product which we think that saves ECA and also our researchers out there on a monthly basis. We will be now focusing Kenya as one of the economies that is also growing very fast, and after that we'll be focusing also on Rwanda. As you know, is also one of the biggest growing economy, growing at about 6% GDP per annum. So that has to be recognized. The beauty about the Flash comes in two forms. So we do have a hard copy, and it's also online. So again, when you go on the ECA website, in fact, each time one is produced, we have one that stands out right in the front on the homepage of ECA. So you actually don't even have to look out for elsewhere. You just see it there, and you'll be able to click and have to have access onto it. The only thing that you're not able to do is that you cannot manipulate the numbers that are in there, because the figures are static as produced for a particular month. So you cannot make any changes at all. The idea is that every month you have a different set of figures and so forth, and also reflecting or focusing on different economies depending on which one we are focusing on a particular month. So this is the product that is going to be there really for some time, and I think it has gained traction. There's a lot of interest. People like it, and we would like to maintain it.